So to introduce myself, I am Christopher Kelly Nicholson. I now go by Chris Kelly. I am originally from Manitoba, Manitoba, which is a very small town, about 2,000 people. I am now 28 years old and I live in Toronto. Well, in many things it can be a very broad subject. Body positivity, that goes about gender, race, size of somebody, all of these different things. But what does it mean to me? Body positivity is how you look at yourself in the mirror. It is how, when you're able to look at yourself, clear vision through a mirror, and you're able to look and see yourself. You're able to see the imperfections. You're able to see the perfections. You're able to see everything. You're able to, because one of my biggest insecurities for myself is all up here. I know I'm not a hideous person to look at. I understand that. But there is a lot of times I look at myself in the mirror and I'm not happy with what I see. So, and I understand a lot of it is just psychological. Whether people, it's the way we are raised, it's the way many external factors can play into our own issues and how we see ourselves. But ultimately what I learned is body positivity is understanding that we're all not perfect. We all look completely different. We all come from different backgrounds, you know? So body positivity is just believing that you're okay and we're all different. That's what body positivity means to me. Confident, probably about 5 out of 10 on an average day-to-day basis. And that's just the thing. Confidence is a very subjective thing in everything, right? It can be built up if you spend 30 minutes at the gym, then it can go up an extra point. So in my skin, I know I'm gonna get better with confidence, but at this moment, it's not where I want it to go, but that's what I'm working towards. Being healthy is taking care of your brain, first and utmost. Mental health is so important, and being healthy just means being a rational human being. That just means thinking proactively, thinking about what you can do to better the world. And also, to be healthy is eating the right foods, the right intake of drinks, not alcohol or other drugs that can really poison your future. That's not good stuff. And a lot of people, they fall into these traps with cigarettes even. I'm a victim of that. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing that one can do to your body. And, but again, it is an addiction and it's unfortunate because I'm not perfect and I smoke a lot, so. But being healthy is taking care of yourself. And once you're able to take care of yourself, you're able to take care of others. So ultimately, take care of you, do what you can, because you can only help things in the external, your friends, everything. If you can't take care of yourself first, then you can't help anybody. That's where I see it, that's being healthy. Take care of yourself, eat well, sleep well, time manage, set the right priorities, what you want to do. That's what being healthy is. Yeah. I haven't really had a lot of negative interactions with the world about my body image. I used to struggle a lot because I used to be a chubbier kid, so a lot of people would make weight comments, you know? But at this moment in time, I say I'm at a healthy size. Like I have a little bit of COVID weight happening right now, probably a solid 15 extra pounds that I want to get rid of. So I would say that there is a bit of a stigma viewing my body type is with my leg, if it's visible. So if I'm wearing shorts and stuff, probably people think I'm not as active or can't keep up with the rest or play on a sports team. So that's a lot of misconceptions. Like we have excellent doctors and residents that can help me with body modification to perform in sports even, and being able to play on a team. But as far as that, I think the world sees me normal. A lot of it is up here again. So to explain the prosthetic leg, I was actually born with a deformed right foot. So this is my left foot, normal 5 toes. This was the right one, 3 toes, and it was very misformed. So when I was born, it probably wasn't until I was at walking age, probably 2 or 3, I got my first prosthetic to help with the deformed foot. So with the deformed foot, we had to create a prosthetic, or the residents and doctors had to create a prosthetic leg to accommodate the deformed foot. So it was essentially, for the first 18 years of my life, I grew up with a club foot. it did not look normal. So when I was 18, I decided to have a cosmetic surgery done. That was explained to me from my residents at the local rehabilitation center. And they said, we can do this amputation to make you look more normal, lack of better words. And it was purely cosmetic. It wasn't anything health related that I needed the amputation to be done. And so when I was 18, I made the choice to get it done. Now, I could have had it done when it was at birth. However, there was a conflict of interest with my parents, my mother and my father. They couldn't agree whether the procedure should be done. And it was a difficult place for them too, right? You have a baby that is born with something that isn't normal. A new challenge, not just for me having to go through, but for them to raise a special needs child that needs this extra prosthetic to be able to live his everyday life. But they didn't get the operation done. So when I was 18, I made the choice to get the amputation done. And it was very painful, as you would imagine. It was probably a solid year of healing once I had that part of the foot removed. It was probably about 9 to 12 months of healing before I could wear a prosthetic that cosmetically looked pleasing. So now no one can tell I have a fake leg unless I tell them or show them. A lot of people do have perceptive eyes, so they go, why are you limping? Why do you walk funny? And then, you just explain it to them. You don't want to be rude because they're just like, oh, are you okay? And it's just like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just my prosthetic leg. So that's the story behind my prosthetic leg. It was no big dramatic story, but it was just how I was born. Well, for the first 18 years of my life, I had this big club foot. Everyone knew me as Cripple Chris, right? It's like, it was right there for everybody to see. There was no concealing it or hiding it. I was that disabled twin, because I also have a twin brother. He ended up normal. I didn't. So I was known as the disabled twin and the regular twin. So once I was able to get that operation done, and when I meet new people in my everyday life and they can't tell, I'm not associated with the term disabled, right? So I'm looked at as, lack of better words, normal, as a normal young man, which is more ideal. So that it has drastically changed my life to where a lot of people have it a lot worse than I do. So I'm very thankful that my situation is more concealable, but a lot of other people have it far worse than I have. So it changed my outlook completely, and I'm very thankful. Well, that's a deep question, but yeah, I have been struggling with the use of alcohol for probably about 3 years now. Or I'm getting better now, thankfully. But it was a very surreal thing, because throughout my whole life, we all have anxiety and depression, but I was clinically diagnosed with Major Depressive Disorder, which was a scary thing when you're, 18 years old and you get diagnosed with that as well. And it's just very hard. I'm a very neurotic person sometimes. Obviously you get better, you go on the right treatments, you are able to take care of yourself better once you have the knowledge of what you're suffering. But to cope with that, before I really had the rational knowledge, I would use drugs such as alcohol, right? And then you rely on cigarettes just to get that nicotine high, to where you'll drink yourself into a coma, and then you're like, oh shit, it was 3 years, and it all just went by like that. It was like you're a walking zombie. You don't even remember who you are, what you're doing, where you're going in life. It's unreal. And I had to rely on drugs such as alcohol just to drown out being me on a regular basis, which is thankfully something I was able to get out of, not by myself, with a great support system. And obviously there's the fear of relapsing, which we all have. That's a very real thing. Thankfully, I've been very good with my alcohol intake for the last year. I'm able to create goals and other challenges without relying on those substances to be able to cope. So I'm in a better place. Well, other than the 15 pounds of extra COVID weight, that is something that I want to change. I would love to. But cosmetically, I've never been a fan of my smile. Ever. And like when I look in the mirror, I hate my smile, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's a psychological thing or if it's just I want to see something else. Like other people always say, yeah, you got a fine smile. Like when I was getting pictures done today, they were like, that looks like a great smile. You look good. I hate my smile. Don't know why. So in my brain, I'm always like, maybe I should get veneers, right? Get rid of those 2 front teeth. But I don't know. It's just everyone else tells me it's fine, and in my brain, I want to make that change. Other than that, and just lose the COVID weight. And then, and maybe something to do with the teeth in the future. We'll see. But maybe stopping smoking would help too. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't really get pictures of myself taken. I definitely haven't seen pictures of myself with the prosthetic leg out. I mean, it does kind of look different, but it's kind of nice seeing, actually. Oh, that's nice. See, and I always hate on myself for smiling, but this is actually a nice photo that looks like a genuine smile. That looks like someone that I don't see when I look in the mirror. Right? But I guess when I have a positive surrounding appears that actually can make you smile and pull out that genuine moment, you actually see something you like, you know? It's nice. Yeah.
It's funny because you don't see this very often, but I do. Mm. I do, because we laugh together and...
Yeah, you know, it's the brain is a tricky thing to get.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, right?
This one. Well, maybe
no. I'm fully with you on that, right? That looks like a whole other person. It's weird. Like, not being too dramatic, but when I see it, I'm genuinely thinking that. I don't see that often, right? What I would tell myself if I was able to speak to my inner child and give them this single advice, just let it be. Just don't let your brain run away and create the fantasies that are potentially going to destroy your future. The anxieties, the pressures of reality. Because like being real, the world isn't always out to get you. It isn't always out to destroy you. That's not the truth. There's a lot of excellent people out there that can build you up as a person, make you feel worth it. There's so many great people in this world. And then in your brain, like depending how you grew up, that vision can be clouded thinking that the rest of the world is bad. People are awful. They're going to destroy you. I would just say the world isn't as scary as you think it is. It can be. But again, you have to be able to trust your gut instinct and just build yourself a support system and trust. Like sometimes trust is broken. That's just part of your journey to learn who to trust and who not to trust. The world isn't that bad when it comes to people. There are bad people. But you're able to build yourself up. And you want to know what? Just, kid, go out in the world, be yourself. And if people don't care or like you, that's okay. Just find the people that do. And that's what I would tell my younger self.